Fun with Failure.
Hi, welcome to Fun with Failure. I'm the doctor, and I'm still not a ginger. I want to thank the Silence for being my camera crew today. We've got 5 wibbly wobbly timey wimey stories for you today. I dropped my screwdriver. Hi, my name is the doctor. What? Already said that? Oh, okay. Well, hope you enjoy.
Technically, this happened yesterday, but I'm feeling the effects way more today. So yesterday I got spaghetti from the cafeteria. First year university student living in the dorm. The spaghetti was horrible. I was about to throw it out when I looked out of the window and saw a squirrel in the forest outside. Feeling kind, I opened up the window and dumped the spaghetti out. I heard a sickening splat and realized that the spaghetti had dropped straight down onto the neighbor's window below me. I couldn't see the damage from standing and looking, so I crawled on my desk and peeked out of my window. Spaghetti sauce was everywhere. I sighed and was about to say, "We gotta clean that up," to my friend, but I sat up way too fast and bashed my head against the wooden beam over my window. Note: thankfully I didn't pass out, or else I would have fallen forward and through the window. Immediately I knew this was a hard hit. I staggered around and tried to act cool. In a hurry, my friend and I went outside and I dizzily wiped away the spaghetti sauce off my downstairs neighbor's window. The ruckus had scared away the squirrel. It was all in vain. I said goodbye to my friend, and then in a hurry I called the emergency health line that Canada had set up. After waiting an hour, they told me to head over to the hospital quickly, and as they were pretty sure that I had a concussion. Yep, concussed. So after 6 hours in the ER last night, and 1 doctor's appointment this morning, I can honestly tell you that I am never feeding that fracking squirrel again. This happened about 10 years ago. It was a warm summer morning, and I'd just finished my rowing practice. So I decided to take my bike and ride it around the hill to the nearest beach so I could do a morning swim. It was a nice ride. Summer breeze was cooling me down. I arrived near the beach. Now, important thing to understand is that I was 12 or 13 at the time. The road I was driving on was above the beach level, so you had to take the stairs to get down to the beach. Or you could, as any sane person would do, take the small street up ahead to get to the walkway to the beach and push your bike to the beach site. I didn't wear any protective gear, as it was deemed uncool. That means no helmet, no knee pads, or elbow pads. The stairs were long and bending inwards. Also, they were unstable, which means small stone pieces were known to fall off. They also were really tight, so only 2 people could pass at a time. I was at the top of the stairs overlooking the beach. Riding my bike, I came to the point where I had to decide whether to take the stairs, that was an unattainable goal for all of the people in my neighborhood, or to take the easy way out and take the small side street 200 meters ahead, figuring that I could master the stairs and become a hero of the streets. Man have tried and many have failed, and I decided I would not. I would take my rightful place as the Lord of the Stairs. I positioned myself on the top of the stairs, calculating and waiting for the opportune moment. I admit I had my doubts, and I would have stopped before the bend to turn, but that was a problem for the later stage. Alas, I have departed on my journey, wheels turning, dust rising, and an unattainable goal in my sights. I was to be victorious, speeding down the stairs like Michael Schumacher did in Monaco. Treacherous foes was mine to conquer, when all of a sudden a pregnant woman appears and starts to climb up the stairs. She's not looking up. Dread besets me, and I have to stop soon or I'll run over her. I hit on my brakes hard, and at that moment I know I was defeated. I let out a loud as I start to tumble down the stairs, still sitting on my bike, hitting my head on the black rocks. I did 3 cartwheels while still sitting on my bike, and I could feel in the middle of my acrobatics I had hit the pregnant woman with the butt of my handlebars, in what at the time I thought was her belly. My fall finished with me on the floor covered with my bike. First thing I did was rise as fast as I could and go and check on the pregnant woman. Luckily, she was fine. Apparently I hit her boob, so no harm there. She was worried about me because I hit my head a couple of times and was visibly shaken. I told her I was okay, probably because of all the adrenaline, and also I had only minor bruises. I found out I was defeated, and luckily no one was hurt. I also took a nap at the beach, which makes me wonder if I suffered some minor brain injury. So to sum up, I decided to ride my bike down the stairs, almost killed myself and a pregnant lady, hit my head on stone stairs a couple of times, and copped a feel and probably suffered brain injury, which made me George Costanza around women for life. This happened about last week, but the consequences are pretty visible now. I usually wear pants for a whole week, since I'm really lazy. Last week I put on a pair of pants that were pretty tight. I didn't change them because my girlfriend says I use pants at least one size bigger than I should, and I wanted to prove her wrong, so for a whole week I wore these pants, and heard all kinds of jokes from my colleagues. After 3 days, my girlfriend tells me that I look good in those pants, and then that's how fitted pants should look. So I proceed to tell her all the jokes that I've received so far. Despite all the discomfort I felt already, I continued to use them for the rest of the week, since I was sure that I would never use them again. On Monday I go to the bathroom to take a dump and notice that I'm sore and that it's painful to clean up after the duty was done. But I ignore it since I just assumed that it was a bit of irritation there. But yesterday while I was showering, I took close attention on cleaning the space between my cheeks since the irritation was still present, and I noticed a wound right above my anus. After inspecting it with the mirror, it looked like I had torn a new hole right above my anus. If you want a more clear picture, it looked like I rubbed a scab off from my arm, but in the middle of my buttocks. Today I'm going to the doctor to ask if I should visit a dermatologist or a proctologist. Wish me luck. This happened last night in my job. I work as a waitress for an army mess. It's usually quiet and rather boring. Maybe once a month there would be some fancy dinner. All sergeants, majors, and officers dress up in their rather funny-looking, fancy gowns and come for dinner. We had such a night yesterday. We were waiting in the servery for them to finish desserts, so we could clear the tables. As usual, we got bored and started to do stupid crap. I decided to show off to my assistant manager that I could kick his face if I wanted to, and I performed a perfect high kick that I learned in my karate lessons. As I kicked, I could hear a tearing sound from my pants. He didn't hear it, but probably could see the "frack" written all over my face, and he asked what was wrong. I just said nothing and started to retreat to the pot wash area without turning around. When I got there, with my butt pressed against the wall, I explained to the other waitresses what happened. They couldn't stop laughing, and the assistant manager, who put two and two together, was dying laughing. I refused to move, but fortunately it was about time to go and clear all the dessert plates. They were all gone, so all I had to do now was to sneak past all the male chefs in a rather spacious kitchen, ideally without showing my white knickers under my black uniform trousers. Combining butt against the wall and moonwalk techniques, I got out, but they noticed something was off. I made it to the storage room with spare uniforms, and I got lucky. I found pants size 8. Male size 8. I put them on and they were massive on me, but at least they covered my butt. I had to spend the following 3 hours of my shift in them, occasionally tripping as they were too long. As I got to the kitchen and the chefs were all laughing, the news spread really quickly. I volunteered to be the pot wash for the rest of the night, as I didn't want to go around all those fancy looking people in clown pants. I guess this technically started last night. I got the grand and great idea to make some ginger beer. You know, ginger, lemon, honey, and yeast are put together and the next day you've got a bottle of bubbly goodness. I've made it before, just not with this equipment. My dumb butt thought it would be a great idea to put this yeasty warm solution in a thermos. I figured, hey, it'll stay warm a little longer, and since it's got a squishy O-ring, it'll seal up and I have carbonated ginger beer by morning. Nice! This was a stupid decision. It really was. I cannot stress it enough. Don't do this, people. Turns out those 64-ounce growler-style metal thermoses worked really well. I had forgotten this factor, and figured it would cool down to normal temps after an hour or so. That way the fermentation won't get out of hand. Obviously it didn't. I bottled it and get drunk and then go to bed. I wake up in the morning to clean my watch in the sink since I have a little detail brush on the sink. I finish cleaning my watch and then decide to go back to my room. Then I see my bottle on the counter and offhandedly remember that I need to crack it to vent the pressure. Ever make ginger beer before? You sometimes leave all the floaties in it so that it brings out the flavor of the ginger before you filter it. I had a lot of shredded ginger in there. Maybe a 1/4 pound since I like my ginger beer strong. I also had a bit of lemon from when I squeezed the lemons for it. I flipped the latch on the container, expecting a bit of a hiss, when I'm hit with a massive ponk sound, and highly pressurized liquid ginger mush started venting out of the top. Then, because of the rapid change in pressure, the ginger ale carbonated and proceeded to spray out of the cap that I'm now desperately trying to relatch. Imagine your thumb on a garden hose, but you've got a garden hose of liquid ginger with lots of chunks. Yeah, I ended up getting doused completely. Bits of ginger all over my face and sweater. I managed to cap it after most of the pressure had already been released. Then I went to the sink to vent the last of the pressure to try to contain the mess. I vented the rest of the way and just kinda shake my head realizing how badly I've just fracked up. Then I noticed the rest of the kitchen. It's on the counters, the floors, the walls on the other side of the room, the cabinets. Tiny white chunks of liquid running down from where they impacted. There are thousands of little ginger bits sprayed haphazardly all over the kitchen. It's naturally in every nook and cranny and high place. It's really obvious with the color of the walls. If this shows up under a UV, it's gonna look like that I've murdered a dozen people in the kitchen. If I had let it ferment any longer, it could have just exploded, sending shrapnel everywhere, and possibly seriously injuring myself and my roommates. Now I'm gonna have to clean the walls for the rest of the day, if not longer.
Hi, this is the Doctor with Fun with Failure, and What? Oh yeah. I hope you enjoyed those videos. If you did, please remember to give a thumbs up. Have a good time and I will see you again. Have a good time and I'll see you again.